Ready?
Yeah.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Greetings, everyone. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. I rarely see a list, but the list today ties into something that I've wanted to say for a long time, and I wanted to address this because I think I have to right a wrong that I have done.
Really?
So what I'm prepared to give you today is Rolling Stone magazine's posted list of the 25 funniest people in the United States.
The funniest people in America.
Now, hold on. Are any of them in this room right now?
Unfortunately, it was 50. I have the top 25.
Oh, I'm
It's a
sure
list
that
of
we're
50.
all in 50 to 26.
We were 50 through 55.
We just got edged out.
Unfortunately, it didn't work out.
That sucks for
but
us.
what's interesting about this list is I'm ready to say something. So,
all right.
let's start with now they cop out right at the beginning. They cop out with number 25. Portlandia stars Fred Armisen and Carrie Brownstein.
They are among the funniest people?
That's
Fred
number
Armisen-
25. Means they're right in the middle of the top 50.
Wow.
Fred Armisen, everyone knows from Saturday Night Live. I don't know of this lady except for the fact she works with the guy from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
I would call them mildly amusing.
Now,
Have you seen the Portlandia?
Yeah, a little bit of
How-
it.
what's your take on it?
You know, it's very quirky. It's not mainstream. I didn't really like it
Moonlight
that much.
Kingdom for TV.
Yes,
Perhaps.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. It's all right.
Number 24 is Seth Meyers. Perhaps there's a New York Saturday Night Live kind of connection here. I'm not
I
sure.
would like
whether
to see him move higher
Yeah.
because of, among a pretty select group of people that have done Saturday Night Live, he's usually pretty good. He's reliable.
Number 23 is somebody that I'm going to say I'm pleading total ignorance on here.
Okay.
Hannibal Buress.
Oh, I have no idea.
Stand-up
who that
comic.
is.
Really?
We've opened with him
I don't
before.
know him
He is
either.
a African-American stand-up comic, and he did the thing on Comic Relief that was against, what was it? I forget. It was
Seth Meyers still funnier.
I still think pretty obscure to be at number 23.
Yeah, he's a good stand-up. He's very well regarded among other stand-ups.
And the problem
I know
with
that.
a lot of these stand-ups is that there are more stand-ups than there ever have been. They're all trying to get their TV development deals, and that's a little frustrating.
It was stand-up to autism. That's the thing that he had a really great slot on.
Number 22, we watch him every week, most of us in this room, Bill Maher.
Yeah.
Number 22. I think 22 is fine. I can accept that. He's fairly well down the list.
kind of funny.
I think he's more social commentary than he is funny.
And again, I
very
put Seth
popular.
Meyers above him.
Seth Meyers goes above him, I think.
Number 21 is Tig Notaro.
Oh, why do I know that guy?
No idea.
See, what are they doing here? This is
Who
too
are
hip.
these people?
He must be another comic of some sort.
Number
Stand-up guy, I
20.
guess?
I'm looking at, out of these three,
It's crazy.
Hannibal Buress, Bill Maher, and Tig Notaro. I don't know two out of the three.
Right.
So nobody knows who this
No,
guy
I
is.
don't.
I've heard the
No idea.
name.
Are we falling out of hypnotist?
I doubt. Oh, how could I possibly?
No,
That's
wait, who
impossible.
put this list together? Do we know?
Rolling
Do we-
Stone.
Yeah.
Tig Notaro put this
Number-
list together.
Number 20, Mark Maron or Maron.
Mark Maron, I know. He's famous.
Oh, he has a
Mark
podcast.
Maron's famous.
Is
Well,
that
Well,
the-
he's famous, but
Well,
is he funny?
He's actually very, very funny. He
does
actually
he do the WTF podcast?
He does, but before that, he was a comedian.
Right.
So he's been a comedian for years now, and he's kind of like you, Mike, to be honest.
Really?
Like, he pulls no punches.
Is he like the comment you made last night when we were waiting to walk through the aisle at the Verizon Center? We'll get to that in a second. And Oscar said, the only comment, we'll follow up on this later in the show, but Oscar's comment was, have you been like this since you were a child?
Wow. I'll tell you, I've listened to a
Honest
few.
question.
I've listened to a
I'm
few
gonna say
episodes
yes.
of Mark Maron's podcast.
So he's a podcaster.
and the thing about him
Yeah.
is he is
A comedian first.
he is a guy that gets great guests and interviews them horribly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I like his interviews.
Oh, yeah, they're
No?
horrible. Yeah.
Number
Controversial.
19 is David Cross, a guy I've had on the show before.
Angry.
Very angry guy, kind of. Well, look
Funny.
at him. I mean, look at him. And I believe David Cross is somebody who had the look in Hollywood, that horn-rimmed glasses,
Yeah.
bald guy look, that it seemed like there were 400 guys that came out that had that same look for a while.
And for a while, he was above sort of like the norm, and he was, he railed against Seinfeld, and he was on Arrested Development, and then he was in
Right.
both of the Chipmunks movies.
And then he- and
so
then-
congratulations, David Cross.
And he still owes me $25.
I think we might want to focus on the top 10. But let's go to number 18, Howard Stern. Howard Stern, a stellar radio
Wow,
personality.
I didn't know you found this list from 1988.
I don't know, but it's interesting. I don't know whether I put him on funniest people, but he's done amazingly funny things.
He used to be very funny.
And he's more, I think, of a iconic
Host.
celebrity.
He's
than
a
he-
host.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a host of funny. He
You know?
brings us funny.
Really?
But I don't know that he himself is funny.
Yeah, he's
number-
like Alan Ludden.
Number 17, I believe, in this man has great material, so I'm going to say Jimmy Kimmel. I agree
yeah.
with putting
Very
him on the
funny,
list
yeah,
at number
absolutely.
17. Ricky Gervais, I believe
Yep.
that's another man
Yep.
that should be on there. Here we go again. Kevin Hart at number 15.
Who?
Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart.
Anyone?
Going
Anyone?
once,
No.
going
Okay.
twice.
Given a guess,
I think writers in New York City that go to New
Or
York
LA.
City comedy clubs or LA comedy clubs, that's what we have.
given a guess, I would say that's either a basketball player or a wrestler. That's
No,
what that name
I
sounds
thought that was
like.
a wrestler.
Number
yeah.
14, well, I hope, for those people listening, I hope he's on your list. I hope somebody out there is going, yes, Kevin Hart, yay.
Mike, that's very giving of you to say that.
Number 14,
Yeah.
Will Ferrell.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, can
Will
we just
Oh yeah.
Ferrell.
can you just ditch the list and
Thank
start
you.
the show?
Big fan of that.
Number 13, Aziz Ansari.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Stand-up comedian.
Oh, he's
but
absolutely
he's also
hilarious.
on Community.
Yep, and a funny guy.
that-
Yes.
yeah,
A
very
good writer.
funny,
Good
yes.
writer.
Number 11, and this one I totally agree with, Zach Galifianakis.
Yes,
yeah,
funny
of course.
man.
Yep.
Just the
Born
kind of
funny.
guy that can make. You know what I'm surprised not to see
What?
on this list? I don't see the fat girl from Bridesmaids,
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy. I don't
She came
see
in
her.
at number 26.
More of an actress than a comedian.
Did she
I
really?
think.
Which is also her dress size.
Okay, thank you. You're making that up. Let me see. Number 10, Kristen Wiig.
Yeah.
Oh, at number 11 was a tie. Oh, number 11 was Zach Galifianakis. Number 12 was Larry David.
Oh, yeah, Larry
You see,
David
you hate
belongs.
Larry David. I love Larry David.
I
I'm a fan of
tried.
his as
I've
well.
tried.
Funny.
Number 10, Kristen Wiig.
Yep.
You know, and you know
So
what?
let's just go to Saturday Night Live and mention the whole cast.
Well, no, because you know what? Kristen Wiig kind of saved Saturday Night Live for 3 years.
You know this microphone, my new microphone?
Yeah.
Yes.
That I've been enjoying?
Yes.
I think other people have enjoyed it in the past.
Oh, really?
Give it a little rinse.
I believe I got to take a scrub to it.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, be careful. That's a hard one to take apart.
Who last used that microphone?
Someone in Miami. Anyway.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hey, how are you?
Number 9, Bill Hader, another Saturday Night Live guy.
Yeah,
you
I
love
don't
when
like-
you love when he does.
All right, this list is starting
I don't
to
like
piss
him
me
so
off.
much.
No, but he does a couple impressions that make me laugh. I like when he does the news guy with the microphone.
Number 8, Girls creator and star Lena Dunham. She's the it girl. She's going
Right.
to be on every list. Number 8,
Not that
Lick
high.
My.
It's a little too
Easy.
soon for that, don't you think?
Easy.
Yeah, it is.
Number 7, I'll put him on any list of the funniest people. Chris Rock has made
Oh,
me
yeah.
unhinge my jaw.
He's top 5 in
laughing.
my opinion.
You
Here
know,
we go.
when I saw his first special, I was actually at your home.
Really?
And we both laughed until we had tears in our eyes.
Absolutely
He is wonderful.
phenomenal.
So smart.
I never,
Smart, funny.
never seen anything like that.
Number 6, Amy Poehler.
Yeah.
I
haven't been a big fan.
Got to give them props on hosting the Golden Globes. I really
Yeah.
thought they
Yeah,
killed.
but Mike, you got to know something: is that girls are not as funny as guys.
Maybe not top 5, but I do like her.
Number 5, the South Park creators, Trey Parker and Matt
Tired,
Stone.
sick
No,
of them,
no.
sick of it.
The work speaks for themselves.
Number 4,
Yeah.
and I'm all about this, Jon Stewart. I'm going to give him his
Yeah,
props.
Hell yeah.
Hey, that's
Like
encouraging.
seeing him on the list.
Glad
And a
he's up
nice
there.
guy and a guy who's been around a long time,
Number 3, created a lot of funny. I'm going to give her credit. Tina Fey is number
Yeah,
3 on the
absolutely.
list.
but still a woman.
Give it up.
Number 2, a lot of people love him. I'm not a fan myself. Number 2, Stephen Colbert.
Also a woman.
There's something. He's entertaining.
Right.
You know, I don't know if he's top
entertaining.
He's funny.
10.
He's funny. I agree. Yeah, well
He's-
said, Oscar.
You know what? But Colbert would almost work better in the 30s because he's got that one sort of piece of shtick that he
Yeah.
sticks to.
And I get tired
I
of
know
that.
you do.
And now, number 1, and
Yes.
a major statement from me on this.
Can't
I am
wait.
prepared to go along with this and agree with this choice.
Really?
Number 1 on the list, Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, really?
have
You've come around on him.
I have been watching a lot of Louis C.K.
Solid.
You know, he was tight with O&A when we were having the DJ war,
Right.
and because they had a lot of comedians on. But listen, you just have to,
Yeah.
you have to at a certain point respect the talent
Yep.
and respect what he does. And his act regarding children, and you know, the most recent, I think this morning I was looking at a clip of him on Leno where he was talking about how privileged his children are.
Oh, yeah.
Privileged white girls, and how he was feeding her bubble gum medicine. And talking about other children that don't have medicine, and they put them on a rock with a bear
Now,
to die.
Have you seen?
He's funny.
Have you seen his show, Louis?
Yes, yes.
That's also funny. But he has, I think, maybe the best piece of tape Leno did in the past 10 years when he talks about people that are privileged that fly.
Right.
And he says, I had the worst flight ever. The Wi-Fi was out. And he says, did you not just sit in a chair and fly through space?
He's phenomenal.
He's
that way.
amazing.
Yeah, he
And
really
he's
is.
somebody that shares my desire to, you know, tell you, hey, you could have it a lot worse.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Life
Right.
could be a lot, and I think we need voices like that in this
We
country.
needed one last night.
So let's start the show on that one.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
You know, I got the clapper for Christmas. How many people have the clapper? Do you know what the clapper is? You better know what the clapper is sitting there in the front row. Let's do the clapper. Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off the clapper. You see, that last clap's a little faster than the other ones. How about the woman on the clapper commercial? One clap, she's out. I'm in my room, clapping on, clapping off. Parents are screaming at me, stop clapping off up there. Clapping on and clapping off. Lights going crazy in the house. Your brothers don't clap off. Your father doesn't clap off. Oh, I'm putting on weight for the summer. I don't know if you know this or not. So I can get a big tan. So I can have people point to me on the beach. God, look at the size of that tan. That's a lot bigger than it was last year.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Buzz Burbank, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
And at number 26, Kevin Meaney. That was from the last segment, but I don't care.
So funny.
We are live from the Cappy Pfeiffer Studios. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. We are downloaded worldwide 17 million times, and we are powered by Encore Insurance. We're at MikeO'MaraShow.com, 102.9 FM, WTNT. I don't know why I have to say FM. I can just say 102.9.
You could say that.
Well, people might
WTNT.
think it's on the shortwave.
I listened coming out of D.C.
I listened last night, too.
Yeah. In Washington, D.C., and the mighty 1630 KCJJ in Iowa. Today is Friday, Feb 22, 2013, and we are brought to you by ScoreBig.com. Last night,
You benefited from this very service.
my pal, Mr. Oscar Santana, and I got to our seats with Mr. Santana.
Yes.
Our Score Big tickets. How would you rate those tickets?
5 stars.
They were phenomenal tickets.
They were great.
We saw everything. And I had the leg up of knowing the venue, and I knew what Score Big tickets I wanted.
Right.
I knew the bid that I wanted to put on them, so I was very happy with
And
that.
Mike's a ticket snob, so you should know that as well.
I'm a huge ticket snob. As a matter of fact, I go to venues and buy tickets that are slightly above my means, so it was nice to have Score Big get that price down to where I could afford it.
If they can make you happy, they can make anybody happy.
It's a
right?
great time of year for live
But were you
sports.
really happy overall?
Oh, I'll tell you all about the
Okay,
game.
good, just checking.
Unfortunately, Score Big cannot control the outcome of the game.
But they're working on that.
Whatever you want to see, your first step should be scorebig.com. Save up to 60% on the best tickets here and across the country. Every ticket on scorebig.com is below box office price, and there are never any fees. No matter what you want to see, go to scorebig.com, enter the code TMOS, and get an extra $15 off on your first order. That's on top of your up to 60% savings. Never pay box office prices again. Go to scorebig.com and use the code TMOS.
Cool.
So I have a new toy. I have a new microphone. How is it sounding?
It sounds so rich, but not overpowering.
Do we need to say thank you to the individual that provided us with this fantastic equipment?
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know who it
nice
is.
and smooth.
Okay.
We got to get his name.
We're so ungrateful.
My only interaction,
We're such spoiled brats.
my only interaction with the new equipment was I opened it and Oscar says you can't take it home. I said okay, I'll see you later.
Then you don't care.
Well, no, but we knew that we got the shock mount for it. This is exciting. If I know we have a certain segment of our audience that are radiophiles.
And the people that are watching it on TV right now can actually see the brand new microphone.
You've gone from a Shure SM7
Right.
to an Electro Voice RE20, a legendary microphone.
If you want to know other individual celebrities and personalities that have shared the microphone with me, the non-celebrity,
Right.
I will tell you that no would probably be Rush Limbaugh would probably be the most.
There's
famous
another
radio
one
person.
who swears by that.
Who's that?
Hey, buddy.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah. Hey, that's because you can do that.
Rumor has it he might have been using it in Rockville when he made his last unfortunate remark.
So,
Oh, no.
so I welcome people's thoughts and comments. Not, share.
You
us.
sound like so.
Audiophiles notice a difference. We notice a difference. Most
Good,
won't.
and we are.
Meanwhile,
audiophiles.
Tab Patterson is penning an angry letter.
We tweak constantly. We
Always.
tweak. We want to find out how you like it, but then we really don't care. Anyway, welcome to the Mike O'Mara Show. Lots to tell you about today. I let my lovely bride steal my thunder on Facebook last
Yes.
night.
That
because
was
I know
nice.
There are many of the people that listen to this show that might not be tapping into us on Facebook on a regular basis.
Carla.
So you will know that about 3 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, I came in here and I told you the OBGYN had said that there was 75% of a chance that I would be having a little boy, and I'm here to tell you that their Michael Sean Patrick Jr. Is on his way, 100%.
Now, did the OB clarify the 75% prediction, and it wasn't the fact that it was a boy, it was 75% that you'd be alive for the delivery?
What, they have a photo booth there?
Yeah, I'm trying to
Find
see.
one where he's smiling, Mike.
I'm not good at this, and they're all scary.
Well,
these
they all
pictures.
look. You know what? You'd think by now they would be better, but now they still look like the movie Alien.
Nice and close.
All right, here
Used
we
up
go.
a roll of film.
Oh, that looks perfect.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
I'm
nice
not,
balls.
I'm not.
Is the arrow pointing at the...
Yes, it is.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not
How's,
safe for
how's the
work.
camera doing that?
Looking great.
There you go. A
Looking
little
great.
porn for your early morning.
You know that looks like his old man.
I find it inappropriate.
Actually, if you can see it at this stage of the game, I don't think he bears any resemblance to me.
Maybe he favors his mother.
I think he's going to do much.
Can we
much
use that
better.
as the show picture today?
Sure,
You
you
can snap a pic of that.
Why
Next
not?
one. Good.
You know what? No, don't do that. Don't
Why
do
not?
That. Let's do this. Let's do this as the show picture.
It's never
Well,
too
I mean,
young.
a picture
might be
of the
better.
baby.
You wanted the picture.
Oh, wow.
It's
How about that?
never
huh?
too
What's
young
that?
to start exploiting them.
What do you mean,
That's
what's
interesting.
That? That's the head.
Oh, okay.
For Christ's
I don't
sake.
know enough
Oh,
about
sir.
babies.
What's that? Well, for Christ's sake, you don't have to be a doctor from
Well,
a medical family. That's it. That's the only one I'm going to see because I think people that show these things, that's like watching slides.
Well, I
in the
agree.
old
It
days.
also looks like Doppler radar. Does anybody really know what's going on?
Well, here's the thing.
You're Dr. Non-committal?
This is a 1-hour session, and I know that by the end of this session, I know that this lady thought I was the greatest pain in the ass known to
Oh,
mankind.
they are so they are so used to it.
You were
But
less
they're
than
also
patient.
so non-communicative.
Of
What
course.
the frig?
Well, you know what?
Why?
You are well advanced in your life, and this is your third child. That means any question you're asking, it's only the third time you've asked it.
Yeah,
By
for
the
the
time you've gotten to this lady,
Right.
she's answered that question 30 times that day.
Yeah, but for those dumbass fathers that probably just sit there and go, because a lot of people don't communicate. You didn't say anything to the sonogram lady?
I was probably so out of my mind excited that if I tried to talk, I would have stepped on myself.
I was
both times.
I was jammering from the minute we walked in
You were
until I'm a
keyed
nervous
up.
wreck because
You were
this-
keyed up yesterday.
One of the first things we find out, do you want to know the gender? She says, and we go,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Said, you have a little boy.
and by the way,
And-
that's a misspeak. It's the sex. Gender has to do with grammar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So the sex.
So she's an idiot.
So she said, "No, stop! Now she's listening."
How dare she?
I gave her,
No.
I gave her the card for the show.
I'm kidding. You know what?
So
Mike
listen.
didn't say that. I said that.
God.
And I'm a hateful hump.
Maybe she didn't even say that. I'm not sure, but we found out the sex of the baby early,
Nice.
and then suddenly I'm done with the sex. Now it's like I want to see how the baby's heart looks and all those
Right.
other
Of course.
things, and everything checked out fine.
Wonderful.
So
That's
at this
the best
stage of the
news.
game, we're very happy
Now,
and we're very pleased.
You are a showbiz guy. Do you wish that the doctor had held off on the? They kind of, led. With
it's not
the,
a doctor, Rob. It's an X-ray technician.
Okay, then the
technically.
X-ray tech should have closed with the gender or the sex.
Don't you
rather.
think?
Well, Mike
Yeah, so-
requested.
I think that no, I
No?
didn't request going in. I think it's just what they see first.
What they should have said is,
Right.
"Do you want to know the sex of the baby?" And you say, "Yeah." And you say, "We'll tell you right,
Right
after
after
this."
this.
Well, not everything's a game show, Rob.
Well,
but
right-
it makes things. Rules are in place to make things more fun.
they did the sex of the baby. Went to the heart. We knew what to look for, with the heart. Did the head, the brain, and all that. Had everything looks good.
Good.
Did they
And then
do
it was-
percentiles
it
or to
was-
that point yet?
I don't think. I'm not sure.
Okay.
If we find that out, it'll be with the doctor later on.
growth rates, yeah.
We did, fingers, feet, and toes.
All there?
Got that. Yeah, everything looking good. Which is that's new because we didn't get that when we did
Right.
the last
Right.
one we did.
Was there a showcase showdown at the end?
Now, what if you get
It's a new car, Bob.
without going over? Because I remember the final sonogram Carrie did. We didn't know at the time that it was the.
This was the final one yesterday. This is the 5-month mark.
This
So-
was one that was closer to the end, like a few weeks out, and
closer.
and we did
Whenever
not
you
know.
say closer, I do Hannibal Lecter.
It's a little closer.
Closer.
We didn't realize that it was the tech's second day on the job, and
Hey,
when they
Rob.
did, yes, Hannibal.
You're not real FBI. Jack Crawford sent me a student. Anyway, go ahead. What?
And they did the measurement of the head, and they said, and you're due in 2 weeks, you're going to induce labor. And they said, yes, the plan. And
You did a sonogram that late in the game?
Yeah, there was a hiccup with Julia. I think, and so
all
they
right.
wanted to do something.
That's really late in the
they
game.
They wanted to do a last
sonogram.
one, and they said, this baby is going to weigh 14 pounds.
Wow.
Ooh.
Carrie burst into tears and asked me to leave the room.
Yes.
And then we came back, and they said, we messed up the math. The child is going to be about 8'6".
Oh, my God.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
14.
They nearly doubled.
14
And the
pounds.
thing is looking at me, no one
14
doubted
pounds.
it. No one doubted it.
Right.
Are you ready?
Julia.
Are you ready to breastfeed?
I can crush
Give me
you.
that boob. Give me that boob.
Crush you like a
Give me
grape.
that boob. Yeah.
But Carrie was, for about 20 minutes, as mad as she gets at
Sure,
me
sure.
for giving her that hell demon spawn huge baby.
So so the idiot tells you it's 14 pounds when it's really
What
8,
they do is they
double the weight of the baby, which means like she wouldn't have a vagina left.
They measure, and by the way, she's fine.
Okay.
They measure, because it was a C-section.
Wow.
They measured like an arc on the head, and they just measured it wrong.
Really?
But it was a really
Well, I do have the weight.
Very,
I think
very
the weight
unhappy
at this
20
stage
minutes.
of the game is 10 ounces.
Wow.
You know, that's pretty big.
10 ounces, a little bigger than average.
Okay.
At
Sounds
this, but isn't that amazing that
Well,
they
that's-
can see that you can
Yeah,
see
they
all
can-
of that, and
almost
it's the
as
size
big-
of a mango.
Almost as big as a beer.
Yeah. You could curl the kid. So it was good news. It was fun.
and you have a due date now.
Yeah, we've had that, and that didn't change, and that is July 19th.
Very good.
July 19th is the due date, and
You know, if he comes a little early, it could be a Bastille Day baby on the 14th, and you could name it Francois.
no, we
Names.
look, subject to change, but right now, and I don't want to be ahead of the game here, and I
Right.
am already because I'm excited.
Well, sure,
and I'm letting everybody follow
your
along with
first
it.
son.
But right now, we were debating between naming him after my father, and I have Williams. There are Williams in the family, and there are also Michaels. My nephew is named Michael, but I thought, taking your lead a little bit, I think I'll do the Michael Sean O'Mara Jr.
I think that's nice.
I think that'll be a lot of fun. And
Yeah, I think it
and
should.
look,
One thing you need to think ahead on is what will you call him, around the house? Will he be Mikey? Will he just be Mike?
Sean.
Because we meant
MJ.
to call Robert.
I was flirting with the idea of yo.
Yo,
Yo, ma.
Yo.
this is my son Trey.
I'm sure
What?
that by the time he gets to that age, we will, I'll have something that I'll call him.
Because we were going to go with either Robbie, which is what I was until I was like in 4th grade, or
Right.
Bobby.
You call him Robert.
But he's just a Robert. And you
Right.
know, and when you meet him, you know it.
I think probably Michael.
I like
that's
Michael.
probably
I do too.
Michael.
But what's great is if you called him Mikey, then when you yelled at him, you could pull out Michael.
Right. Or I could Michael Sean.
Oh, that's
Yes.
great.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Any
That's
chance
strong.
you would ever call him Sean?
no.
Really?
No.
Patrick?
No. That's my
about-
confirmation name.
What about MJ?
MJ?
I like that. The kids like
MJ.
that.
I like that. Yeah.
Reminds me of a famous wife that we once knew.
yeah,
really?
she- very famous.
MJ. Hi to Mrs. Hughes.
Yes,
Out
hello,
there.
dear.
There
Oh,
we
that's
go.
right.
So it was a good day. We were late getting in there, and you guys know the state that I was in yesterday.
It was Virginia, wasn't it?
I was on pins and needles
You were.
all day. I was really.
Well, you barely slept the night before.
I didn't sleep well the night before, and then
Maybe they should have given you a sonogram.
it was we got there. They say get there at 2:15, which
Right.
we did. We were early. We got there about 2:08, so
Excellent.
probably about 2:10.
That's good.
And didn't get in until 3:00. And
Oh, that's bad office
that's-
management.
That's when I
Typical,
don't
typical.
want to be late, And I really, and at one point, I leaned over to Carla, and I'm sharing my intimate feelings here, and don't judge me. This is just
never
a joke.
have, Mike.
I'm being lighthearted, and so my comment to Carla was, "Is there a reason that the entire Korean hockey team has gotten in before we have?"
Oh.
Let's just say that the
North
office,
or south, Mike?
the office, now that one is paying out of pocket,
Yes.
one goes to offices that might be considered melting pots. And
Culturally diverse.
I walked in, there were
It's
three.
good to socialize the baby early, Mike.
When I walked in, I think there were 5 people in the office. And then by the time we had our appointment, there were about 15 people in the office, and everybody seemed to be going ahead of us. Now, it's an imaging place for lots of different procedures. I think they have MRIs and everything
Right.
else there. But I was just, I'm like,
Hey, man, great imaging.
I just, what an incredible imaging job. That sounded tight. But I got so pissed. I'm really, and I'm saying I can't be pissed here. I can't be pissed here. It's bad. It's bad karma.
What
to
if
be
they?
pissed.
What if they introduce like a take a check machine? So you go in and take a number, and then you know where you were in the thing.
Listen, she said, once I realized that the procedure itself for this lady was an hour long, it can happen. I mean, it's going to happen. You're going to get backed up if you have
later in the day, especially.
That's true.
I
and
hate to say this
without Google Translate.
If you have problems in the sonogram, you have to kind of spend more time on certain
patient,
areas
right?
and actually. And she said this is fun. It's fun when it's people like you because it's a good one, and we're laughing. And I said, we weren't too much of a pain in the ass. I did ask her. I said, is this the most questions anybody's asked you? She said, it's pretty close.
Wow. You know what? But that's
Because everything I'd look at, I said, is that good? Is that good?
Right.
And she'd say, good baby.
It is certainly an overwhelming, because this is really, especially at this stage in the game, when it becomes real.
Right.
And you have a lot of, and I think a lot of dads, myself included, you just sort of stand there slack-jawed because there's so much going on. The fact that you had questions.
Well,
is
here
great.
it is for me. We had, as I said very loudly on this podcast, we had a bit of a rough time with the first OBGYN.
I remember.
So I am in a total non-S taking mode now with every doctor during this visit. Now, fortunately, this guy I'll ask if we can mention his name, because I will after the fact, but I'll get his permission first. But the OBGYN we have now is just such an incredible gift to us. He is everything that was reviewed online, everything that listeners, a couple of them sent me personal emails about this, and absolutely magnificent.
Is he handsome?
And he's just cool. He's a cool. Oh dear, how's your puppy doing?
I want to apologize.
Why did I say yes to that? Why did I say
I know
yes
why
to
you
that?
because your dog loves.
And also, Mike, I wouldn't have even asked.
Here at non-business 105.1.
I wouldn't have even asked if he hadn't have been perfect last week.
He was perfect last week.
Here's the important thing. The important thing that we this is one day that we can understand this, and it's just he's fine if he stays at home. Correct?
Absolutely.
This is it.
Absolutely.
And I feel like when the boys asked to bring a puppy in, I have my dogs who live here, but I happen to live here.
But
so
we had a great week last week, and now you know what? Color me educated because I've blown it.
Well,
No, you haven't blown it.
Now I can't bring the cats.
Look, you asked, and I said yes, so it's not your fault.
That dog was great.
It's not like you just brought the dog in.
It's my fault for asking.
It's not like you just brought the dog. It's not like you brought the dog in without asking.
Yes, this is
Hi,
true.
Mark. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. No, he has to. I think
did.
once. But anyway,
It was a standing offer.
that's what it is. Yeah.
But also, I think also in the past 6 days, Linus has found his voice.
Yes.
He's barking at things. You know what he was barking at yesterday?
Isn't the intern supposed to be taking care of the puppy?
The intern is dead.
Oh, incidentally, you know what? Oh God, we're up on a break.
Oh, yeah, we got to.
When we come back, speaking of the puppy, this is a good segue. This is the truth, though. Make sure he's standing next to the dog when he takes him out in the backyard.
Okay, yeah. I talked to my mom about this yesterday.
This is delicate because I don't want to talk about everything that's going on.
Right.
But I'll address the issue of birds of prey
Yeah, and not religion.
when we come back on the Mike O'Mara Show, and it is the truth. We'll be right back.
But it's not like that anymore.
Mike, I'm playing this song for you. It's the theme to Shameless.
I like it.
It's a great record.
Hey, and then we're going to stand up and do her on the sink.
Yeah, do it, man.
Yeah, and then we're going to have the kid brush his teeth out of the toilet. Let's be as shocking as we can.
In the opening credits, show your ass.
That's fantastic. Show the guy's ass. Shameless.
See?
Yeah.
Appropriately titled.
Let's make sure. Hey, can you put a little grime on the tile? Yeah. Make it look like it's pure filth that they're living in because they live in the ghetto. Yeah. Yeah, we're shameless. Yes, sir. Hey, and let's say, how about we say scenes from Coming Attractions, but this is what you missed on Shameless, and we'll say F you after that. Yeah, we're shameless. We're edgy. Anyway, I still watch it.
Girl with
Exactly.
a penis. That's
Makes
right.
me a hypocrite. Anyway, this segment of the Mike O'Mara Show is brought to you by Tall Weeds.
You know, you're America's most happening hypocrite.
Thank you very much. We're all aren't we all a little hypocritical?
are.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
In the mid-1990s, Steve Huey went from being a police detective in Houston to wearing a helmet as a UN peacekeeper in what had been Yugoslavia. He found a land where murder is not a crime, but a sport. This is a description of this book and a phenomenal read where the weeds are tall to hide the mines, and that is the truth in that war-torn country. He learned the local legend of a vast fortune of diamonds and gold hidden in the mountains of Sarajevo, and that's how Steve Huey came to write about a deadly treasure hunt in the new book called Tall Weeds. So check it out. Get it through our Amazon page or at twodogsbarkingpress.com. That's twodogsbarkingpress.com. Tall Weeds by Steve Huey, and we thank Steve for promoting his book on this show.
Speaking of two dogs barking.
Yes.
You know what?
Well, Frankie's just out there just being a brat and just growling at your puppy right now.
He is a dick. Frankie is a dick. It's funny, we're discovering new stuff with the puppy each and every day. Yesterday, his main opponent was a doorstop.
Sure.
He's
feeling his oats. You gotta nip that in the bud.
Those springy doorstops that if you brush against them, they go brrrr.
Right.
Well, he bumped into one, and the noise flipped him out, and he went down on his paws. He just bark, 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 bark at a doorstop.
Maybe a water bottle.
Yeah, that's a good toy.
He's also coming into that everything in his mouth phase of puppydom. And
Carrie has never gotten to that phase.
I was petting him earlier, and your dog, as small as he is, can almost get my entire hand in his mouth.
Yeah, he's got those little
bigger.
Those little needle puppy teeth.
Which is incidentally a quality Buzz looks for in many, many people.
Everyone I meet, I check that.
So when I said water bottle, I didn't mean a toy. I mean a water bottle to when he barks, give him a shot in the face.
Right.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
That's good.
People are saying, no, that's animal abuse.
No, it's water. It's water.
That's why he's. We want to keep him hydrated.
We will get to the night out. We had Oscar and I had a date at the hockey game last night. We'll get to that in just a second here. I did want to say, outside, really beware. A neighbor it's come to my attention actually feeds hawks. And the neighbor is no longer there. I will not go into detail about that.
Okay.
But I will tell you that
dogs are hungry.
All I know is Carla, we're leaving for the sonogram yesterday, and Carla says, look, and I look up over my yard, is, that TV commercial, I think, for Geico, where you see the dog
absolutely.
This is a huge bird of prey.
Yeah.
This is not an eagle, but it's a massive hawk.
And no longer being fed.
And apparently there are two of them. We find this out from our neighbor across the street.
Oh, boy.
And so beware, birds of prey. And yesterday after the show, I'm sitting at the computer in the kitchen, and I hear... And you can hear that the birds, the regular little birds, are freaking out because these hawks are, they're what they say. And I've noticed, have you seen any on 28?
Yeah, yes, I've been seeing hawks. I've been seeing hawks lately.
We got birds of prey.
Yeah, they're all over.
We have birds
they
of
had
prey taking over.
vultures in Leesburg there for a while.
You know what it is?
Scary.
I think it is with the overbuilding. There is not as much like underbrush with vermin, and these hawks have to go somewhere to find their food.
Well, it's a little weird, and I think Frankie must look like a tasty morsel when he's out in the backyard.
And he's still alive, just like we like them.
What was this guy feeding them?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Chocolate mousse.
Maybe meat.
Neighborhood children.
Maybe ground chuck or something like that.
And it's a good lesson because no matter how much you love animals, don't feed wild animals of any kind because they become dependent on it. And if you have to leave for any reason, the animals then are in bad shape without you.
I saw those birds, Mike, and they are wild. I want to tell you.
I make a lot of jokes about it, but I will tell you that if anything happened, if by some chance I was standing, because I stand right next to Frankie, as you guys know, when I let him to go out and pee.
Yeah, I see it every weekend.
I'm right on top of
Not
him.
at all.
Yeah,
No,
good-
when
good
you
for
let him
you.
out,
I don't. I stand on the deck and let him go.
Don't
in the
let him get
backyard.
out of your sight.
in days of old, you put him on a lead or a leash. When you do you just send him out in the yard now?
What's that?
Do you just send him out in the yard now without a leash? Because if you put him on a leash, like
Right.
a long lead, if the condor came down and got him,
I catch a bird
and flew away, you could just pull the leash and get him back.
Reel it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Or a fishing line would be great because then no one would see it. It
Then-
would almost look like magic.
The NFL combines were on this week, and I sat there and I said, well, if Frankie's roughly 40, 50 yards away from Mike, could Mike run anywhere close as fast as these pro athletes to save his... No, you couldn't.
No, what you need is you need to hire two other dogs to serve as blockers.
Let me say how fast I could run if Frankie was by some
Because it's
tragedy.
really a 40-yard dash.
If Frankie was scooped
With
up
steps.
by that hawk, that Frankie would be completely digested by the time I got to the spot where he was removed from the yard.
Does he have any... And we've seen him act like a dick towards my
Frankie
dog.
would be regurgitated to his young as I was arriving, as I was crossing the yard. He'd already be vomiting up Frankie into his little baby birds.
Wouldn't be able to get there fast.
With Frankie, would he offer any resistance?
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, once those claws go into your rib
he wouldn't be
cage,
able
it's
to.
curtains.
He would be unable to offer.
Because you know what?
resistance.
We know he's a dick, but he might be wily.
I actually asked my neighbor. I went across the street and I said to him, "Do the hawks have large talons?"
It's kind of like my favorite bird.
Oscar.
Is Frankie chipped? Does he have a chip inside of him?
No.
Oh.
No.
Does he have a chip on his shoulder?
If he
Yes.
got a chip in him and a hawk got him, I wouldn't want to find out where the chip.
Oh, see, I would.
Because I'm sure, like the guy from the the vet or whoever tracks those.
No, you
dogs
just
goes,
log in yourself.
Oh, you log in and it's like,
Yeah.
Okay, Carla, it seems that he's in a 30-foot tree at the very top. He's down on the eastern shore.
Hey, it turns out
he's on top of a day marker in the middle of the river.
It turns out, amazingly, he's in several places at once.
So he's he's fine.
You haven't had your dogs chipped?
I don't think so.
That surprises me.
I could ask Mrs. O'Mara.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be important. This actually happens with stolen vehicles all the time. Well,
Turn my mic off for a second while I dial here.
They'll finally like low jack the car,
Right.
and they'll say, "Look, this is strange. It's at 20,000 feet, and it seems to be heading towards Japan."
Oh, so it's in a
China."
plane?
Yeah, it's in a
Oh,
plane.
really? Yeah, 'cause
because they'll put it in cargo ships or cargo bays or cargo planes, and then they'll just take off.
Linus is chipped. So
Yeah,
we know
he
if you
should
want to
be.
know where he's barking, we just go into a computer.
I think most dogs are these
Yeah.
days, though,
Hello?
which is interesting.
Hello, mother of my son.
Yay, Carla! Congratulations!
Thanks.
How are you, darling?
Hey,
I have a question. Does Frankie have a chip?
a chip?
Like, does he have one of those computer chips in him?
No, why?
I'm just curious because the hawk got him this morning.
No, stop it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
How
I'm
dare
sorry.
you? That's not a funny
That's
joke.
awful.
I know. I'm sorry. And if it ever really happens, listen, I'm going to do my very best to stay as close to him as I can
And get photographs.
and get photographs of the hawk taking
I will
over.
hurt you if that happens.
Are there 2 hawks in the backyard now?
Yeah, two.
Two.
Huge hawks.
Wow.
Yeah,
You
they-
should name them.
What are the ones? Who were the ones on the? They were ravens. You know, on that cartoon.
Oh, Heckle and Jekyll.
Heckle and Jekyll.
Yeah, I think that'd be
and
good for
Jekyll.
them.
All right. Well,
Magpies.
How?
Hold on. Did you tell the story about how the guy fed them next door?
Yes, I did, but we don't want to go into detail for obvious reasons
Okay.
about that. But I did mention that was and that he's not there any longer. That's all I said about that. So we'll keep an eye on Frankie with the Hawks. And how are you feeling, darling?
I am doing excellent. How's Rob's dog doing?
Rob's dog is having a bit of a morning. Actually.
Yeah, he was a little
Uh-oh.
yappy, so we had to. Josh has taken him into the kitchen.
Yeah, Josh is back there and like giving him some treats and making sure that he stays quiet. But
Frankie, be quiet.
and Frankie's quietly growling at him, and we're hanging in there. It's a pretty delightful little Friday.
Does he still have worms?
No, he's perfectly clear of them. His treatment stopped on
you mean
Wednesday.
Rob?
There's passive aggressive.
I completely forgot about the worms. Has he been? He's been dewormed.
Totally dewormed. The treatment stopped Wednesday,
So he's dewormed, Carla.
and his yeast infection is cleared too.
All right. Have a great day.
Okay, bye.
You take care of yourself now.
Bye, I will.
Bye bye.
Congrats.
There we go.
Sexy voice.
I checked the records.
So long, baby.
I checked the records. It turns out the beluga has a chip in him, and it's sour cream and onion.
Beluga senses.
That's so funny.
Oscar loved that.
I think I'm going home.
Good night, everybody.
Beluga. Maybe you're right, Buzz, because they're sitting closer together.
There's some magic
Or they're sitting
there.
in a different proximity to one another.
I think it's it.
When Oscar's on Rob's left, Rob just hates him. But now they're I don't want them to
You know what
team
it feels like right now, sitting over here, because I'm just looking at the screen as you guys talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a different city or a different place. I'm not even looking at you guys. I'm looking at the screen.
We
see
go
your
now to
reactions.
Capitol Hill.
Are you? Is your camera covering you? And do you have any light over there?
Yeah, there's a camera on me.
All right, but
We're
it
good
just
to go.
seems you're in a dark corner over there. I'm
Well, he
very
looks
confused
darker no
about
matter
that.
how the
Yeah,
lighting
that's
is.
my shade of skin.
So in any event, everything's fine. Everything's
Good.
stabilizing.
Excellent.
And the O'Mara household is sound. The State of the Union is correct.
It is,
Congratulations.
and I know really what you wanted yesterday is the proclamation that the baby is healthy, and you got that.
Right.
Thank God.
It-
But
it
it must
amazes
feel
me
good. It
how
must
much-
feel good how much extra you got.
It amazes me how much detail and how much data they collect now. I mean, I'm holding this up to you guys.
Yeah.
to
It's
see.
like a roll of film.
It's just tons of information that you get when they're doing this, and
you got to put
that.
put that. You want to scan all of those.
Yeah,
so you
because they
have them.
decay. They do
Yeah,
decay.
they will fade.
Put the little woman on as a project this weekend to scan those.
The little woman.
woman.
But more data. My daughters are 15 and 17, and it's a lot more information than they collected when we did that with them.
Did you get
So,
the sex of them before they were born?
Yes.
Both of them?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I remember that, everybody, fathers want sons occasionally. And I will tell you that the fact that I've had this child late in life, makes me actually very motivated for a boy. And, don't believe you want a healthy baby first, but I tell you, it's a little slice of heaven when you find out you're going to have a little you.
It's just so great. I mean, I just remember when they said it's going to be a boy, Mr. Spielberg. I said, great. Finally, someone to watch black and white movies with.
Lucky kid. We'll be right back.
She was a showgirl with yellow feathers in her hair and a dress cut down her leg. She would merengue.
Yesterday we were starting our segment with Oscar showing you his fabulous new glasses from Warby Parker. We're telling you, and I'd appreciate the feedback from everybody that's taking advantage of these offers. Glasses do start at $400, $500, $600 these huge retail stores. You all know what they are. You all know the names of them. They're in every city in America.
Every mall.
They're in every mall. That's the way it goes. Warby Parker is giving you a chance to get the same quality for, it starts at $95.
And if you doubt the fact that these are fashion-forward glasses, did you see what Google did?
Yeah.
When they designed their new fancy glasses, who did they hire to make them look cool?
Warby
Parker.
Google
How about
goggles.
that? Yeah.
Every pair comes
Goggle
complete
Google.
with anti-glare, anti-reflection coatings, and polycarbonate lenses at no extra cost. You can try up to 5 pairs with free shipping and find the right price for you. Go to warbyparker.com, select your 5 favorites, and get even faster free shipping with the code TMOS.
Yeah.
We've all done it. Try them yourself. Details can be found at warbyparker.com.
Do it.
And don't forget our code that helps you so much, TMOS, and we are thankful in advance of that. Okay, it was Hockey Night in America last night.
You had a date.
My date with Oscar Santana.
Yeah.
Now, what time did you get out of the sonogram place? I know you went to the place called the Sonogram Shack, right?
The Sonogram Shack.
And it's just up in Manassas.
Sonograms
to
are
go.
us.
Let me see. We left Sonogram City at about 4:30.
So you had to leave directly from there to pick up your boy Oscar. So you had to still be on a cloud when you got him.
We left the direct sonogram outlet at... No, I'll stop.
Did you go to Jack Luskin's, the cheapest sonograms in town?
Sonomart.
We left Best Sonogram at... we left the Sonogram Depot at... I'm sorry. 4:30. Got to Oscar's, about 5 o'clock? A little after
it was
5?
quick, actually.
So you still had to be just bubbling.
I was excited.
I was exhausted, actually. I was in a state. I was kind of like... I was pretty tapped out. I was tapped out and pretty exhausted.
We
for the
touched
entire
base
evening.
after the show yesterday, right before you left, and I said, you're about to have one of the greatest exhales of your life.
Right.
Because
That
when
was
you
nice.
find out that everything is okay,
Right.
and this is huge.
Yes.
And you go in optimistic always, but nervous. And
Right.
so probably you felt almost like a letdown?
It was tired. It
Right.
was a letdown, but I mean, then I was kind of psyched to have a night out with the guys.
Sure.
Oscar picked Oscar up at his what appears to be a completely new condo. They've completely refurbished the outside of that building.
It's
I
completely
didn't-
renovated from inside
That's what
out.
happens when you have a great manager of your homeowners association.
Oh, I'm not doing so well there. Jeez.
Oh,
We
really?
got fined.
Oscar's
That's
building is beautiful. It's
La, la, la.
it's wonderful. It's located in a hip section of DC.
Thank you.
His building is called the Metrosexual.
Oh, it's nice.
he actually called. He's like, I'm standing outside of this building, but it's called this. And I said, yeah, it's my place. I see you.
Yeah, and I didn't remember because I've always dropped off or picked up Oscar when it's been dark out,
Right.
because I don't want anybody to see.
Did you go in the front door or did you use the hooker exit?
Oh, I didn't use the door.
No.
Oh, you just beeped?
I just pick him up.
Yeah.
I
Slow down to 15, let
I'm
him
not.
run.
We're guys. We're going to something. We're going
Yeah.
to do something.
I
We're
don't
not-
need to show my place.
I'm not all about the visit.
So
you know
I'm
what I
still
mean?
the only one that's seen your place via Skype.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and eventually I said when I dropped Oscar off, when I said this to you last night, I said, eventually you ought to have the housewarming.
Oh, I earned a ride home. Yeah, I will have a housewarming.
You earned a
yeah, I
ride
forgot
home.
because I was supposed to take a cab home.
Yeah,
Okay.
I earned a ride home with my good behavior.
Oh, that's good.
Excellent. Good for
When's the
you.
housewarming?
He earned the ride
work on
home. He earned the ride home because he hipped me to a parking solution that I'm not going to share with anybody.
Can you tell us after the show?
Well done.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys.
Because I have a Verizon
good.
event
Just
coming
don't-
up in April.
I don't want anybody else to know this.
Don't publicize
I
it.
want this not to be publicized.
Good.
Because this is a deal.
Yeah, find your
in
own
my
parking.
humble opinion.
Is it close to Verizon Center?
Yeah.
Cool. Because I got wrestling on April 1st. I'll need to speak
This
to you.
takes all the hassle out of everything.
It's amazing.
Wow.
Is it something
I
that can be
love those.
explained, or do you have to have someone with you to
It's
show
a
you?
hack.
It's
No, he
simple.
can explain it to you.
Oh,
Real
awesome.
simple.
Yeah.
You'll know the place, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Because anyone that's been to the
Yeah.
Verizon Center knows that getting there is fairly taxing, but getting out is the worst.
The worst.
Absolutely the worst. And I just want to say this before we talk about the evening, because we did have a good time. But this hockey team is in a land of suck. And in my humble opinion, when you fill that joint, which the Capitals fans do for their hockey team,
right,
and that sloth, lazy group of dinks that could give a rat's ass, and they play the same game every way with their stupid penalties and their lazy effort. I am pissed off, and I'm mad, and I'm a fan, and I'm mad as hell, so I'm not going to take it.
Who did they play?
I'm really not that mad.
Who did they play last night?
New Jersey.
And what was the final score?
3-2.
Oh, so were they ever in it, though?
Oh, yeah, they were in it.
They were leading 2-1 going into the third period.
Wow.
Yeah. And
they
then,
let that slide.
I watched the first 2 minutes of the third period, and I said to Oscar, they're going to score.
And then
they're going to score
down.
here.
This is where they crumble.
I said, as sure as I'm sitting here, they're going to tie the game. And they not only tied the game, they went ahead. And it was just like blah, 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 and dumb penalties.
Don't care.
And it's just, was that, you've been to a few hockey games with me. You've been to that Verizon Center. Have you ever seen that building for a Caps game with that low energy?
No, it was actually depressing.
It was
It was
unbelievable.
And
The whole-
it wasn't because it was empty. People were there.
No, they were
were
bummed.
just bummed.
Yeah.
And they knew, they felt the way I do.
Right.
It's like, and you know what? When your team is sucking and your team gives up a lead at the end, and then they kind of goose you with those make some noise graphics on the tell screen, that to me is, or the Jumbotron. Do I date myself with
I
that?
was just going to tell you
tell
something.
screen.
Something that
It's
made
like
me,
1970. How about tell screen?
the thing that made me laugh is when I got, for the lack of a better word, backstage to the audio room at the stadium when I used to work for the Redskins. The graphic that would make the noise meter go up was not connected to anything.
No, it's not.
It's just an animation.
It's a lie.
It's an absolute lie.
So they're doing a lot of the make some noise.
You
They're
better
doing a
make
lot of
some
the,
noise, team.
Unleash the Fury with with what's his name? Who's the guy that does
Green.
Tom Green. And so it's just
Was Slapshot there?
It was no. Oh yeah, you mean
Yeah, he was
the
there.
mascot? See, I don't think
How'd
you
he
should.
do?
I don't think you should call a bird Slapshot.
No. Well, did the Slapshot try to eat Frankie?
Call him the eagle. So we're walking in, and we had dinner before the game.
Nice.
With Mr. Langer and Mr. Langer's friend, who's
One of his
business-
associates.
one of his business associates.
Mexicano place?
What's that?
The Mexican place?
Yeah,
It's a
we
good
did
restaurant.
that, and it was a good time. A good time was had by
Sure.
all. I thought that they were good company,
it was
interesting
fun.
people.
Oscar, at what point and what prompted you to ask Mike, have you always been like this?
Well, Mike at times likes to complain, and the complaining could vary from something that really matters to
Yes,
something that really
agreed.
doesn't matter.
Agreed.
Ask my wife.
And we were walking through
Mike,
the concourse,
If you're not bitching.
I'm not breathing.
That's right.
and a family was walking down the concourse the same way. And instead of walking in line so people could walk by, they decided to take up the whole hall.
They were
Can you
walking abreast.
describe the
I don't
makeup
like that
of the
either.
family?
I actually did that.
Yes.
I said, "Oh, they're the Potomac people."
Well, no, I meant
I
like,
said, look at the Potomac people. We are all going to stand shoulder to shoulder, all 11 of us, and block the entire
Oh, so
aisle
it was a
because
big family.
because we all want to know where we're sitting, and we
I
have
hate
no
that
regard.
too.
We have
I
no
hate that
regard
too.
for anybody else because we're the privileged. Blah, 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 blah. Lick it.
you got better parking than them.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
Well, that's because I knew a secret from my friend over here.
right. That's
But I said, so I walk away. I said,
Minority
okay.
parking.
What was my commentary? I said, I bet they're from Potomac.
You said that.
And Oscar said, have you been like this since a small
But
child?
I share that pet peeve. I hate that. I mean, they're blocking it for everybody else.
No, they
when
were,
do that.
it was not that they were just blocking it. They were blocking it because it's what they are all about.
But see,
And-
these are the sides of Mike, because just 30 minutes later, we're watching the game, and he's talking about his son. He's in total
Yes.
bliss. He
Yes.
says, I have to live. I have to live till I'm 70. I have to be there. I have to make it.
70. God,
Oscar-
I hope you can set the bar a little higher than
well,
70.
Oscar called 65. He said, don't get happy. Yeah.
He
Don't get happy with
doesn't.
that.
You're going to
No.
make, Mike,
And do that.
He's working you.
you're going to make every day of 80.
Oh, thank you.
and
that's-
speak at my funeral.
You know what I think about that? That's funny. With that one right
And then
now.
another one, Mike's sitting there, and he's like, all right, we're doing this. We're doing this after they score the second goal. So that's what
Oh, it's Mike the sportsman.
that's what a true fan is about.
Well, I'm vocal
Yes.
at my Caps games. I will say, move the legs. I will say skate.
Why
I
go
get
if
into
you're
it.
not gonna
tilt
be
the
vocal?
ice.
I mean-
Tilt the ice.
I didn't say tilt the ice
Not
last
this
time.
time.
he has, though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember by any chance the particular player who I had it in for last night?
The guy from Europe.
Well, you're
Which
you're
one?
painting with a broad stroke.
The
here.
guy
Mike,
from
it was-
Sweden.
Yes, you're getting
Yeah.
closer.
Oh, Jesus.
He's famous.
Can
Oh,
I
I
guess?
You go ahead.
Nicholas Backstrom.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Ooh,
Nice
I don't
pull.
want to get into a fight. I don't want to go into the corner and hurt myself, but I will make a pirouette and make a fancy play between my legs. Now,
He loves the fancy play.
No one can discount the brilliance of this guy, but I can. I like my hockey players to be the whole package. I like the fact
Yeah,
that they
you do.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, the whole package.
You know what we're talking about.
Bring it, baby.
Oh, I love his blonde hair.
I like my hockey players to actually, have as many hits as they do shots. I like, if some guy's going to take advantage and try to, give you a dirty hit, I think, you ought to be willing to give it back and drop the gloves if necessary.
Revenge, baby.
And I think they all ought to be like that. And there have been players throughout the history of the NHL. Gordie Howe, the greatest example, a Gordie Howe hat trick.
Bobby Orr.
Bobby Orr, he dropped the gloves if he needed to. They all did.
That's
and
right.
now you get these guys, and I look, and it looks like he's avoiding sometimes going into the corners, and I don't like to see that. That's part of the game.
Maybe he's trying to reinvent the face of the game, Mike.
So I was kind of on him, but then he got an assist later,
Yeah,
and I felt a little bit better. But it just is
but not
fun.
enough to actually do it. He's only going to help out.
Now, what I didn't mention is there was another person. I believe America's who uses the United States of America as his own personal amusement park. I'm talking about James Cerrito.
I have a question about Jimmy.
Yes.
Did he have trouble getting into the district?
Okay, let's see. Well, obviously, the best way to get to Washington is run for office and be elected.
Is Jimmy the master of the cryptic text or not?
Oh yeah. That man, it almost pains him to communicate with the letter of the English language.
Kind of like you talking?
Damn it!
So close.
Well, Jimmy
I had something.
Jimmy and
Flamed out.
I said, we're going to get together. Let me know where you're going to be and text. And he's letting me know. And then it's just, we're going back and forth. And Langer wanted to meet us down there.
I'm at 13th and M.
And then Jimmy was a little late. So we sat down, a table for 4. You got to make, here's the rule at this restaurant that I didn't care for. I said, can I get a table? We got there early enough. I
Yeah.
said, can I get a table for 4? They won't give you the table until the 4 people
gotta have
are
all
there.
4.
I think that's just like, kiss my butt.
You know what?
I mean,
not
they're
to be
gonna there.
not to be devil's advocate, but they have how many home games a year, and that's the time that place kills. And
Yes.
they've probably got a protocol they've got to stick to maximize their money.
Owner's probably from Potomac.
It irritates me a little
I understand.
bit. But I
fixed it.
I gave a little greasy to the hostess.
Mike did fix it.
I'm sure the
And-
kitchen gave you a little greasy too.
Yeah, well, it's fantastic food.
Is it?
Good.
Yeah, I'll give him a plug someday. So we went
Whenever I
down there, and Langer and his friend came, and we sat down. We had some homemade, made at the table guacamole.
Oh, I
freshly
love
made.
that
Which
stuff.
was pretty good stuff.
good for you.
It was wonderful, and we had that. And then Jimmy arrived. About 6 o'clock with
Yeah.
his friend Uncle
He
Dave
had a posse.
and his Canadian buddy Lumpy. Lumpy.
How is Lumpy? I see a lot of Lumpy action on Facebook. I don't know him that well.
Lumpy? Lumpy is from the Great White North. Lumpy is from the friggin' Arctic Circle.
Then keep an eye on this one.
I forget where Lumpy's trick is that Lumpy's got comedian tattoos all over his body.
What do you mean a comedian
He's got
tattoo?
George Carlin here. He's got
Really?
Richard Pryor here.
Wow.
He's got Jimmy's Old Town Tavern tattooed on his
He
back.
has Jackie Leonard here.
Never heard of such a
Maury
thing.
Amsterdam.
And the celebrity Lumpy most resembles is a young Rod Steiger.
Wow.
so he's handsome.
A skinnier one.
That didn't go over, Neil. I put a lot of effort
Because
into
a lot of people don't know who
explaining-
Rob Steiger is.
But I brought
Rod
the
with a D.
Oh, whatever.
Rod Steiger.
Rob Steiger, his less talented brother.
In the Heat of the Night, classic American actor.
Yeah.
Amity,
younger guys.
played the priest in the original Amityville Horror. How
Yeah,
does that
never
work for you?
seen it.
Never
On the
seen it.
waterfront?
Sorry.
Jesus, if it's not 2 weeks ago, he doesn't see it. But anyway,
God, Mike, why do you have to always reference old movies?
shut up, Rob. So I go in and I get a picture of the young Rod Steiger, and I put it literally next to this guy's face, and Jimmy, Uncle Dave, who ought to be excited, but he's not excited about anything, that 90-year-old man. And then
He's
and Jimmy,
excited about his football pool.
Jimmy, Uncle Dave, and Oscar all go, yeah. And he is
Wrong
a
audience.
literal,
Tough
he
room.
is a lookalike
Doppelganger.
for Rod Steiger.
A doppelganger.
You
A
might have-
doppelganger.
You might have actually said this in the past, and maybe I didn't catch on, but Uncle Dave from Jimmy's Old Town Tavern is Blue from Old School. Like the old guy.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
And Uncle Dave doesn't care about anything. He's a loyal friend to Jimmy.
He'll do whatever it takes.
I said, "How you enjoying the game, Uncle Dave?" Yeah.
Just want to get out.
And you know what? It's not just him at a sporting event or at the bar at Jimmy's Christmas party every year. The one time Uncle Dave puts on a suit, you'll see him there. You say, "Uncle Dave, Merry Christmas." Yeah, I suppose.
But he's an accomplished architect. Did you know that?
He's the architect of fun.
No, I mean he literally that was his career
He's
before he
designed the new
retired.
Jimmy's,
He's like Mr. Brady.
And Uncle Dave is a brilliant guy, a very smart man. And Uncle Dave is is he not the classic curmudgeon?
He's a
the
curmudgeon,
best.
yeah.
He's kind of what I'd like to be as an old guy.
Yeah.
I'd like to be like, somebody walks up to me, "You having a good time? What does it look like?"
Yeah.
"I got beer and food. Get out of here."
The only thing you need to set your sights on being an old man is a breathing one. If you do that, you've won.
That's true. But it was a good
A
time
fun
overall.
night. A fun night.
Excellent.
Thank you for
That's
the ride
awesome.
there, the ride
And then
back.
I did give him a ride back.
Wow.
And,
And how did he earn it? By good behavior?
by finding that whole parking
Yeah.
arrangement.
Got you out of there
We
faster.
really must speak of this.
I enjoyed that. I truly do. Okay, before we move on, we do have to mention, we're going to mention it in the bonus hour. We'll dwell on it a little bit. But the Academy Awards. And I have to say to all of you that I do love them. I love the Academy Awards.
You're going to
And-
hate him this year.
You think so?
Yeah, because of Seth MacFarlane.
Really?
Yeah, he's going to ruin
You
it.
think he's going to be
We'll
that
see.
bad? We're going to talk about that in the bonus show.
But I had a thought about the Oscars this weekend, and that is we've all talked about the fact that the movies have been better this year. We've seen more of the Oscar-nominated films than we normally do in a year, and because of that, I think we're going to watch with a little more interest. I'll be interested to see if the rest of America feels the same way. If there's a significant spike in the Oscar ratings this year, it could be because it could be a clue to Hollywood. Keep making these kinds of movies.
I
And
hope
you
so.
can draw a parallel. It's almost like if a New York or a New England is in the Super Bowl.
Right.
The Super Bowl pulls bigger numbers because more people have a vested interest
Exactly.
in it. If they're movies that are more not guy,
just people.
like people friendly, like Joe America
What will
wants
it
to see
take
the
for
movies.
you to get out and actually go to a movie?
You know what? I can probably start doing it now that the kids are of the age where I can leave them home.
Do you miss it? Do you miss it at all?
I
mean,
do. I do
mean,
miss it. And, Carrie and I used to do movies quite a bit, but it's just tough. And the problem is not just finding care for the kids. I can leave either kid at home. I can't leave them home together. The house will burn down. They are constant opponents. And I got no problem leaving Robert at home
That
alone.
sucks,
He's 10
though.
now.
That really does suck that they get along so badly you can't leave them at home
Plus,
alone.
there are vultures.
Yeah, there are swinging vultures.
Like
so-
you'd leave Julia in charge of Robert, and you would come home, and it would be like, "He drank it."
Yeah, I don't know. I told him not
to.
to. I mean, it's 10 minutes after 7, and I'm getting ready, I'm shaving, and I hear down the hall, I hear, "Shut up!" And I'll say, "Robert, are you singing?" "Yes." "You've got to stop." "Why?" And then, "Dad, he's singing at me." I said, "First of all, don't sing in the morning, and really don't sing at your sister."
Is he singing show tunes?
No, he's not. He's singing. He makes up. So you see, Robert is
Robert.
Robert is a morning guy.
I love Robert.
Robert
I do.
hits the
I
ground.
am fond of Robert.
He's
I'm
a
sorry.
wonderful kid, but he hits the ground running. He's the biggest morning guy in our
Robert
house.
is somebody who I had a moment with Robert. Remember when we had the lobster here?
Oh, yeah, you got him lost.
And I
Service
just had,
accept
I
them,
had
yeah.
that moment, and I have to confide something in you. That was a moment where I look back and I was remembering that, and when I found out I was going to have a son, I said, just that exchange with a kid that age, and I just said, I want some of those moments. So I'm pretty.
There's
about
nothing
that.
better than when he'll come to me and he'll say, "Dad, Julia's at a friend's house or Mom's working late. We have a boys' night tonight." I said, "Yeah." He said, "So do you want to watch a movie?" I said, "Any movie you want." And it's just so cool.
Casablanca, Dad. And,
No,
and Rob
but
goes,
he will-
Rob goes, "The brainwashing has been successful."
Excellent.
Excellent.
But no, it is.
The Maltese Falcon. I've gotten him right where I want him.
But you're onto something.
Mm-hmm.
It is nothing like any other relationship. You can be as in love with your daughter or your wife or even your own father. But a father and a son having that one-on-one time together is amazing. And Mike, I'm so excited.
Do you
for
take
it.
him to Costco with you?
Oh, he loves it.
Okay.
He's lousy at pushing a cart. Hits people. I won't let him do that. But he's a good boy. Yeah.
Speaking of Costco,
Cost Company.
Cost Company. I think I'm trying to find this here right now.
It used to be Price Club, and then Price Costco, and then
Well, Costco bought Price Club.
Here it is.
What?
Just we'll go to commercial with this one
Okay.
because it's been
Yes.
such a upbeat. I have a son. You're telling wonderful stories about your children.
Yeah, this
Friday.
I have to share this.
Let's kill it.
This is from Matt. Matt Jorgensen writes, Rob is full of S.
What?
Oh, wow. Here we go.
I live in Leesburg, and I had to run into the Leesburg Costco yesterday at 11:30 a.m. Just to get some baby formula. By the way, they have the best price for that by far, Mike.
Now you know.
There were 1 million people there. 1 million. I had to wait in line for 20 minutes. I even texted my wife while standing in line and asked her, "Doesn't anyone effing work anymore?"
How many people said that?
Well, you know what I said? But you know what I said? I said you need to go at 2:00.
Well, this
2
guy,
o'clock is
this
when you
guy
go.
says the Leesburg Costco isn't the utopia that Rob says
What's his
it
name?
is.
Matt Jurgensen?
That's Matt Jurgensen.
I'm going to unfriend him.
We'll take a break and come back with Rob and the Magic Audio Vault right after this, everybody.
Looking like Debbie Fly. I pick to the beat, walking down the street in my new freak. Yeah, this is how I roll. Animal print pants out control.
You love this record?
The hell
I
is
was
this?
humming this on the way in this morning.
LMFAO, Sexy and I Know It. I bet Oscar likes it.
I like it. I still like it.
It's pretty.
You know why I like this song?
Why is that?
Because girls can dance to it.
That's right. It's a hit record. And you know what? The uncle of the guy who sings is Barry Gordy. He's a nephew of the Motown founder.
Oh.
Matt
Anyway,
Jurgensen going to
this
be
segment,
unfriended.
Rob's Magic Audio Vault, is brought to you by
JUR?
Vistaprint.com, JOR.
Oh, of course.
Vistaprint.com. If you're starting a new business, you need professional-looking business cards to get that phone to ring. 250 top-quality business cards for just $10. I've told you this again and again. And again, and again, and again, and again.
We're going to keep telling you.
Millions of business owners use Vistaprint because it's affordable. You know that, and it's very easy to create a quality custom business card. What
Just
are you
hit
doing?
the red button. Unfriend.
There he
Goodbye,
goes.
Matt.
Thousands of designs.
Hate my Costco, hate me.
Heavy paper stock, half the regular price. To get this offer plus free shipping, go to Vistaprint.com. Do it now.
No.
And enter the code TMOS in the search bar. 250 top quality cards with free shipping for just $10. Go to Vistaprint. Check them out and use our code.
Open the thing.
Thank you very much. Let's open up the audio vault for today, Feb 22, 2013. Boo.
Do you remember sometime ago we had the worst laugh ever and it was a French guy?
Yeah, it was fantastic. I watched that 30 times on YouTube.
Well,
Loved
her
it.
name is Consuelo Duval, Mike, and she's Spanish and she's lovely.
Right.
Very, very pretty. A celebrity most resemblance, sort of like not quite as over the top, but a little bit like Sofia
What's her
Vergara.
name?
Consuelo Duval.
So she has the same malady that Pistorius has. That's an old joke.
It is, and you handled it so well.
It's a very old joke. What do you call them?
Yeah,
All right.
So if you can go to, it's not on YouTube. So if you want to see it, go to my Facebook page, and
Okay.
you can do that unless your name is Matt Jurgensen.
Wow, you are a punisher. You are a punisher.
Check this out. This is a laugh. This is a genuine laugh on a hot girl, and I call this worst Spanish laugh ever. I don't know any of the words that surround it, Oscar. So if you can help on translation, let me know.
Es que tú dijiste, denle en su abrazo.
Now she'll catch her breath, laugh right, and then
Denle en su abrazo.
Through the nose or what?
Oh, my God.
Denle en algo para que no se hagan pipí.
Ay, 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 me dolió, me pasó.
Denle una vacinica. Denle un pañal.
so that's Consuelo Duval.
Get her a handkerchief.
Which begs the question, Mike. What does it sound like when you tickle a baby penguin?
Okay. I'd
So
like to
I
hear
have
that.
this in. This is
I like
at
this.
the Cincinnati Zoo, and it's Cookie the penguin.
Same sound?
Yeah.
Coming out of the penguin, both sounds?
Yeah,
That was like a nasal laugh.
yeah.
right?
Isn't that great? Now,
You know, I knew a girl at American University. No, I don't want to do that.
no.
All right.
Consuelo.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, how about a tip of your, and you're wearing a hat, a tip of the hat today to Buzz Burbank, who
Hi,
found this
Marcia.
for me.
Hi. Hi, Marcia. I'm
She's
wearing a hat
watching.
today.
She's seeing you in your hat.
Buzz found this.
noticed you were wearing a hat. Well, I noticed you were wearing a hat.
Oh, she'll never sleep again.
You were wearing a hat on Friday. Did you take a shower this morning?
She just cares for your hygiene.
You were wearing a hat.
Mr. Man.
I saw you. What do you have to say about that? Hi, Marcia.
Great reenaction.
She says she is listening and watching the show now, so
Yes.
I wanted to say hello. Is she watching right now?
Probably, yes.
Hey, baby.
And I noticed you were wearing a hat. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
This is an odd recording I'd never heard before. Johnny Cash doing his signature song, I Walk the Line,
Okay.
in a foreign language. Did you know he re-recorded it in German?
Really? Everybody did their hits back then. In
Johnny Cash in German. It would help in sales in Europe.
Man in Black.
So I'm sure he recognized it phonetically.
Am allerschönsten war es doch zu Haus. Und auch zog's mich einst in die Welt hinaus. Und in der Ferne suchte ich mein Glück. Wer kennt den Weg zurück?
It was very common. I know Petula Clark did it, and of course the most famous version.
Jawohl.
They gave the Beatles phonetic pronunciation for their two biggest hits of the time. They did She Loves You, and they did this. They did in one day. They had a concert in Paris, and they went to a studio and did this.
Boys to Toilet. You know, with all due respect to the German people.
Yes, it's a
You know,
bad
even,
language.
Even back then. We're 20 years, basically, out of WW2.
Yeah.
And they made some pretty bad moves, right?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
we
I would
all
say
agree.
the
I mean, isn't it
missteps
kind
were-
of nation pride that, you know, they need that song in their own language, you know?
Oh, some would say, why do Latinos need a version of these popular songs in Spanish?
However, Mike, you know
I
what
was
they
just
were
trying to slam the Germans.
what
Doing
they
the whole
were-
WW2 thing.
what they were saying
Never
is
forget, Mike.
Right, there you go.
perhaps the best revenge we can get is by giving their money.
Ich bin ein Berliner.
Now, oh, you know what? Thank God everyone is back safe in Mobile from the cruise ship Triumph.
Yes.
Finally.
But it doesn't stop the lawsuits, Mike. We are a litigious
Here they
society.
come.
Yep.
And you know who's suing the Triumph?
Who?
Triumph, the insult comic dog.
Oh, that's okay. It's
Good.
been a long time.
And
It's been a long time. One of my favorite bits on television.
He has
Absolutely.
issued a statement towards the cruise ship Triumph. We now go to that letter.
To use the name Triumph, they have a responsibility to uphold the high standards I have set. But instead, they smeared more than just my name. The last time I saw people covered in that much feces, they were touring the White House with Al Roker. One thing is for certain. The shopping on board the Triumph was definitely not duty-free. By day 3, the cruise ship had clearly entered uncharted territory. Conan, a chart is when an individual is under the presumption that he has passed gas.
Yeah, I know, we know.
But,
yeah.
okay.
It's okay, thank you.
Was that Triumph?
passenger's
You know
room.
what it was actually Triumph's handler, Robert Smigel,
Right.
dressed as Alan Dershowitz.
Really?
And what was so great is they gave him a fake hand so you couldn't see him operating.
Oh, that's great.
You should see this. I think it's on Hulu, and it's also at Conan's website. I also love it anytime Triumph wears glasses.
Yeah, and just one of the great bits ever on late night TV.
Just so great.
It's flooded with Nicolas Cage movies. Folks, if I wanted 4 days worth of I'd give Chris Christie a laxative.
So there he is. He's hidden over there on TBS, but Conan still is making me laugh.
And what's great about that bit, that creation, that dog,
the
dog does scatological better than anybody does
Yes.
scatological because the dog can, because
it's
it's
a dog.
and poo.
Right.
Yeah, the dog can do
Fantastic.
that.
So hats off to there. We had a 911 call earlier this week. This is not the actual 911 call. Ladies and gentlemen, know this. If you call 911 as an accident or with a bad thing and you say, oh, I'm just going to hang up, 911 will call you back.
Yes, they will.
So this is a really, really a parent that
Sorry, I'm messing with my
That's fine. You want me to kill the audio?
No, I'm fine.
The parent just doesn't care. Mike, where is Brockton, Massachusetts?
Brockton is a suburb of Boston.
All right, so they called back to Brockton because this happened.
Hello. Hi, this is 911. Somebody just called from there.
Yeah, it was my son, my 10-year-old son.
Okay.
No, everything is fine here. I told him to go to bed, and he doesn't want to go to bed, so he's like, I'm going to call the cops on you. I said, go ahead. You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, go ahead and call the cops on me then. I'm going to put him on the phone. Dan, would you like to talk to the police? Because you can't be calling 911 when there is no emergency. Because they need it for people who actually are in trouble. He doesn't want to come to the phone. I'm sorry.
We have to send somebody out anyway.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
All right,
You're welcome.
Bye.
She is the parent who doesn't care. Go ahead, call 911. Go ahead, send a cop out.
Well, there's part of me that kind of understands if a kid's going to threaten that. It's like, you want to see what happens.
Give him the non-emergency number then.
No, but the kid is in trouble. It's not the parent
Right,
that's
the
in
kid's
trouble.
Right, and I don't think she's necessarily a bad parent because ultimately the rest of the story is the cop came out to the house and sat the kid down and had a talk with the kid about the seriousness of calling 911, and the police say this is actually something that they do.
It happens all the time. I dialed the 9 once on my mom. And she said, she goes, you want to dial the other 2 numbers because it's not going to matter by the time they get here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah, and I just hung up the phone.
Go ahead, Oscar.
Yeah.
Dial that other one.
All I know is that after the kid dialed the number and spoke to the cops, he said it was a wicked pissa.
Now, Pissa was New York. I think Wicked was more New England.
Wicked is New England.
Well, I
It
thought
was
maybe
wicked
because
good.
of the suburb.
All I remember, Rob, is when I went to Marist College, which was
You were Bill O'Reilly's roommate.
90% Long Island, New York. That's really the number of people that went there. I mean, it was just all Long Island, and they were like, and there was one guy named Brew. And he'd say, "Hey, Brew, what a great party! That was a pissa."
Okay.
And I'll never forget that. I love those people.
I know you did.
I love Bill O'Reilly.
Today on the bonus show, when the bonus show drops, we talk a lot about a lady named Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, I got into a whole thing on that.
But it's a great bonus show, and make sure you buy it. You can get change back on a $2 bill and get a great hour of entertainment, but that's not why we're here. The thing is that Kim Kardashian has revealed if she wasn't whatever she is, she has a second career she would have liked to have done.
What the hell was
Kim
that?
Kardashian recently said that if she wasn't doing what she was doing, she would want to be a crime scene investigator. Yeah, Kardashian said, "I'm qualified because I've spent most of my life collecting DNA samples."
And that, Mike, that is your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great weekend, everybody.
We'll come back with buzz and news. This is the Mike O'Mara Show.
Everybody's doing a brand new dance now. Come on, baby.
We have the mother of my son who has come into the studio with the dog of the Spiwax. And oh dear,
how is he behaving in there, Carla?
Now you're the dog whisperer, Carla. How how's it going with that? Let me get the
He's
microphone
giving her
over
kisses.
here. Thank you, Oscar. Appreciate it. Oscar,
The dog is.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? What do you like? This is the first time you've met the puppy, right?
Yep. I think he's very cute.
Ain't he cute?
And I let Frankie in and Beluga in with him, and Frankie's a little
A brat?
Yeah,
Frankie's a
but
brat.
they're
And now
getting
it
along
seems
fine.
like Linus is being a little bratty too,
Well,
right?
no, he's fine. He's just a puppy.
Yeah, I
He
feel
wants
so
to
bad.
play.
I was really thinking we'd have a good week like last week.
But I am going to take him out because he did just eat and stuff. So
You're going
he's
to take
gotta
the
use bathroom
Okay,
probably.
get him out of here.
Cool.
Thank
you very much,
Thank
Carla.
you,
I
sweetie.
appreciate
Watch
it.
for predators.
You can send
Thank
a bill.
you.
Send a bill to Carrie. That's CARY.
Bye, my love. I'm lovey-dovey today.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
understand
Can't
that.
help myself.
That makes
See
perfect
you later.
sense.
What's that?
Oh, Frankie's
Frankie.
out of his mind.
Yeah, Frankie's basically walking back and forth right now, just going.
What about
I'm,
me?
you know what?
What
I'm,
about me?
I'm surprised, Mike. You don't want me to bring Linus back just to piss Frankie off.
I know, Frankie is such a brat. It's ridiculous. Without further ado, let's get right to it. It's news time with Buzz Burbank. Take it away, Buzz.
Thank you, Michael. First, let me say that our spring break road trip is brought to you by the Institute for Liberty and their partner, Fan Freedom.
We never got to that today.
We're leaving a week from today.
Monday, we'll have all the details about what we're going to be doing down in Florida.
That's right.
But here's what you need to know right now. Your right to independently buy and sell tickets is under attack. Big corporations, venue managers, and team owners are trying to force you to buy and sell in the markets they choose. That means you have to pay their fees and you have to play by their ridiculous rules. The Institute for Liberty and their partners at Fan Freedom are pushing back against this stuff in Florida, Tennessee, California, and really all over the country. You bought it, you own it. Protect consumer rights and your property rights. Visit fanfreedom.org and learn more about the Institute for Liberty.
Fanfreedom.org. Very, very interesting concepts they have on there. You're not going to read it everywhere, so check them out at fanfreedom.org.
Exactly. And now there's a school of thought that says the big across-the-board government budget cuts that are supposed to start in about a week are really no big deal. This same school of thought includes folks who believe it may actually do more good than harm. But that's not how the White House is painting it. The White House is warning of more jobs being cut and of a crippling of our economic recovery. And now, not only has the White House told us there could be meat shortages from a lack of inspectors.
Carrie's complained about that for years. Hey, but I want to tell you.
Now,
Wild.
Now the White House is telling us that getting through an airport could take even longer because security workers will be among those furloughed.
Where do you line up on this? Do you think that this
can't
is...
tell.
I can't either. This is one, and you and I come from a certain political
Yeah.
viewpoint here. I think this is one, like, you got to get to this. It's arguably to get this deficit reduced, you
Right.
have to get to these numbers.
Right.
And I'm hearing 3-1 in some cases, and that the sequestration or whatever
Right.
it's called will be
Sequestration.
will be 2-1.
Yeah.
And eventually you're going to have to cut spending, and this is going to
that's
do
true.
so.
We all agree on that, I think.
I don't know. It's
But
hard to
these
say.
these are again hatchet cuts as opposed to surgical cuts, which
Right.
is very unfortunate. It's too bad we don't have a government that works that could have made the right cuts
and done so in a responsible way that's not going to
Right.
cause immediate pain to people.
I
Save
think-
our meat.
Right.
And I agree with the plurality of Americans who believe that the answer is Obama's formula of having both cuts and increased taxes on people who can afford to pay them.
I agree with you. We'll see what happens.
So that's where we are now with these dire warnings from the White House. Other people saying, not such a big deal. Homeland Security Secretary Janet Napolitano says these delays, these airport delays, will be especially true for international travelers since customs will be hit the hardest.
Can I just say one thing?
Sure.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, Janet. Yo, Napolitano. Mike O'Mara here. How you doing?
So
Never a meat shortage at her house.
Oh,
Mike.
God.
Yeah, that's a great ass.
So how concerned are we, the people? A new survey shows that only 1 in 4 Americans are even aware that these cuts are about to go down. The survey also shows that if sequester does happen, as it appears it will, nearly a third of us will blame the president, while nearly half of us will blame Congress.
Hi, I'm Josh. I don't know about it.
I really didn't care.
No.
Is there a hot tub party this weekend?
A lot of times I don't eat meat. I'll just boil noodles.
That's good. Okay. Do you want me to watch the dog?
Yeah, that'd be great. And then maybe I could run cameras on Tuesday.
Okay.
So what's actually being done? Republicans say they're still waiting for a formal proposal from the Democrats. Democrats say they're still waiting for a proposal from the new Republican House. So nothing, really. And it's on this landscape that President Obama picked up the phone yesterday to call both House Speaker John Boehner and Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. It will not surprise you to hear that nothing was accomplished in those calls, which have been described as courtesy calls, just checking in, really.
How you doing?
It was, by the
How
way.
you doing?
Hi, Mitch McConnell. This is Josh.
I was called because I was asked to lobby, and your policies I don't think are necessarily basically going to work well.
If you vote against the furlough, we can get meat.
I got to get off the phone now, but bye.
Our intern Josh. It was, by the way, the first time the president and Speaker Boehner have spoken since their pre-fiscal cliff call on December 28th. So
Wow.
it's good they're keeping in touch.
Wonder how that went.
When you turn on the news,
How have you been?
when you turn on the news these days, you'd swear it's the wild, wild west out there. A retired Army general yesterday recommended that Chicago call out the National Guard to deal with the epidemic of gun violence in that city, the city with wounded shoulders. More than 500 people were killed with guns inside that city limits last year. That's up 16% from the year before.
It doesn't get covered enough as
No,
far as I'm
it
concerned. You
doesn't.
hear about it occasionally, but that little girl that was killed, and the people that are living in a state of terror in those neighborhoods.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to those people.
Yeah, and
The only thing
good
I
people
can,
going down.
The only thing I can imagine. Do you remember what it was like when the guy was shooting people at gas stations and stuff? The
Yeah.
sniper.
The sniper,
Yeah,
DC
DC
And
sniper.
then, and for like what, 15 hours, we were all horrified to leave our house. But they live
Longer.
with it all the time.
Yeah, tough
I
to
can't
find a
imagine.
solution.
Can't imagine.
I'm big law and order when it comes to this crap. I mean,
And it's
like,
not just Chicago. I presume you guys have seen the video on television or on the internet about this in Las Vegas. 3 people were killed and 3 injured yesterday in a rolling shootout reminiscent of a game of Grand Theft Auto. A deadly 6-vehicle car crash in front of the city's 4 biggest casinos was where it all ended, with a rapper among the victims. The driver of the Maserati died as well. Police are still looking for a black Range Rover with darkened windows and cardboard dealer plates.
Who was the rapper? Do you know?
I don't know the name. It
Oh.
wasn't a big name.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It was Africa Bombata.
Stop it.
That's from 30 years
that's
ago.
wrong and
That is
racist.
racist and wrong.
How about
that's the only rapper I know.
Africa Bombata?
And the Soul Sonic 5.
Oh, sure.
Force.
Stop it.
1978.
You don't think he made that up?
Yeah, you can't make that up.
Some good news, some positive news for a moment. Virgin Air founder Richard Branson has joined fellow billionaires Bill Gates and Warren Buffett in giving large chunks of their money to charity. Branson says he'll now donate half his $4 billion fortune. His adult children whose inheritance will be affected by this say they are completely on board.
Just as long as he keeps his theaters open.
In Missouri, yes. Right. Finally, a man in Michigan is reporting that his home has been burglarized, and normally that wouldn't be news, even if he did lose 3 flat-screen TVs
Kenny
in the process.
Clutch is the name of the rapper that was killed.
There you go.
Oh,
Okay.
kind of a no-name rapper.
Right. Now, what is news about this burglary in Michigan is the rest of what the man reported stolen. $6,500 worth of pornography.
Oh no!
What a waste.
He believes is the biggest porn collection in the state. I'm Buzz Burbank on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Wow, you love porn when you got a dollar figure.
I was
going
to say, if you can assign a value to it.
If I went back and I added up all the money I've spent on that, I'd probably get to that $6,000.
Yeah, but would you even report it?
No, I'd probably keep it a secret.
Yeah.
If I wasn't a perv. That's it. We got to get out of here. Thank you, Buzz.
You bet.
Our show today brought to you by Score Big. Save up to 60% on the best tickets here and across the country. Every ticket below box office price, guaranteed, never any fees. Go to scorebig.com, enter the code TMOS, and get an extra $15 off on your first order on top of your up to 60% savings at Score Big. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody.
Congratulations, Mike.
And I'm
Carla.
going to have a sign.
Yeah!
We'll see you on Monday. Tell you all about Florida the following week. Bye-bye, everybody.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Thank you.